What's up everyone, Lichtstolpe TV here, bringing you another video. We're gonna jump right into things and start completing Shadowmoon Burial Grounds Gold Challenge mode. And now, I did this with my guild, Alter Ego, on Dragonblight EU. Our group consisted of Protection Warrior, BM, Survival Hunter, Resto Druid, Elemental Shaman, and Combat Rogue Subtlety. So, as I mentioned, we're going to jump right into things, and as we kill this first pack, we pop all our cooldowns to get the cooldowns rolling for first boss, because why the hell not, right? You might as well get them running. Wasn't sure if we were going to pull that big guy, we really didn't want to, so I figured I might as well mass stealth us just for safety measures. As we go into this pack right here, there's a caster mob, the orc. Doesn't really do that much, but it has a few nasty costs and a heal, I do believe. So just keep interrupting the Shadow Skull and stun it with the OP combat stun whenever you can. And since we have a lot of interrupts in this group, I don't think I use it this time, but it's pretty OP and you shouldn't really not use it. But anyway, as you saw, our hunter went out of frame to pick up the spider pack that we're currently cleaving as well with the rest of the orcs. To save some time, we'll kill off the rest of the mobs as we go. Jump down right here. As a hunter, remember to dismiss your pets so you don't pull the entire instance as we did one time. It was horrible. Don't do that. We get down here, finish another one of these small spider packs. Almost at the first boss. We get around the corner and there's another pack with one of those orc casters and 3 skeleton adds. Really make sure to interrupt this caster because she has a spell called Mending, Bone Mending or something, and I do choose to use the 8-second stun here to really make sure she doesn't get any costs off. She gets cleaved down really fast, so it doesn't even get the chance to cast a heal. We quickly finish off the rest of the adds and slowly make our way to the first boss. The first boss in this instance has the exact same abilities as she has on Heroic, only with more damage of course, to make it a little bit more interesting. We run into the fight, we pop Bloodlust, pre-pot, all that good stuff, and we start wrecking her face. And yeah, as I mentioned, the abilities should be the same as on Heroic. We have Daggerfall, don't stand in these, they make some pretty good damage towards you. The Dark Communion is also here, which is another place where the 8-second stun gets really handy. You can lock down the ad for pretty much the entire kill, and no chance of it ever getting to the boss and ultimately wiping you. Yeah, just standard procedure fight, just keep dodging stuff, kill the ad, don't step on the bad runes, the purple ones. Wait for the eclipse, when the eclipse actually comes. Yeah, there it is. Make sure you stand on the white runes to get the protective bubble, or if you're OP hero class rogue like me, you can just cloak it, stay on her in DPS, don't lose any DPS to save some additional time. I do believe we have another ad here soon after this Whispers of the Dark. Yeah, there it is, Dark Communion. I call out for my hunter here that I want to stick on the boss and finish her off because I do believe we can make it. So him and the rest of the druid decide to double stun it so it doesn't reach the boss and we finish her off to save some more time. So that was a pretty good attempt at the boss, and very good success rather. As we get up onto this next pack right here, they have 3 mobs worth mentioning in particular called Shadowmoon and Slavers, and what they do is a spell called Rending Void Lash. Now singularly these spells doesn't do that much, they do sort of good damage, but if these 3 mobs line up 1 each on the tank, it's going to do a lot of damage if you don't interrupt. Pretty much it can one-shot the tank, I'm pretty sure. We had major issues with this pack until we finally got it under somewhat control. I do believe our tank actually still dies here. Yeah, he does, but it's okay because we only have 1 of them left, and I decide to sort of semi-tank it until we get our tank up. We get him instantly with the Rebirth from the Druid. Next up is the Exhumer, which I instantly Shadow Step and stun. And why, you might ask? Well, she has a spell called something something of the grave. I can't exactly remember the exact name, but what it does is that it spawns these spirits from the nearby graves. So what I wanted to do is get the stun off ASAP on her so she doesn't get decasted. However, unfortunate for us, I get too close to the other Exhumer and she gets decast off because she was body aggroed by me. We can't really stop that one, but it's okay. It's only 2 spirits instead of 4, so I call sort of worth. Anyway, we bring the rest of the mobs with us to the second boss. We keep going. We don't get out of combat sadly though, so we can't really pre-pot for this boss, but it's okay because we get to cleave the rest of the ads with the boss, so it's sort of a win-win situation, I suppose. Not really, but you know, it's okay. Still get to pot though. Red buff, killing spree, OP stuff. We kill off the rest of the ads pretty quickly. This boss also has the same abilities. It has Void Blast. Same abilities on Heroic as it does on Gold Challenge mode. All it does is just do a whole bunch of more damage, pretty much. Planner Shift. He jumps off and starts doing Void Vortex on a random location in the room. Don't stand in this unless you're a hero class rogue, and you can just cloak it and save some time by DPSing through it. Yeah, he also has the Soul Steal ability, of course, where you have to kill your possessed soul to get it back. I decided to stun it here because I was pretty energy starved to get the bleed running and get it down as quickly as possible. Reclaim your soul. You get a sick damage debuff when you reclaim your soul if you do it quickly enough. Pop any remaining cooldowns and finish off the boss pretty much. I'm not entirely sure if this next ability, which is going to come up soon, there we go, Void Devastation, if that's on Heroic or not. I'm pretty sure it is, though I might just be blocking it because I haven't done this instance on Heroic in a while, but I do believe that Void Devastation is there. So, but I'll just explain it anyway. Basically what it does, he stands channeling for 15 seconds, launching these void zones on the ground. And don't stand in these, obviously they do a lot of damage. I do believe they tick for shadow damage every second, so I do believe 2 or 3 ticks is enough to kill you. So just avoid that, don't waste any time for the healer rezzing you. Actually, it doesn't matter if you would die there, you just res there right off the bat because there's sort of a checkpoint there anyway, but still, don't die, it's pointless. Another Enslaver pack here with 3 of them again. Make sure you spread out the interrupts on the Rending Void Lashes, make them, if you interrupt them all at the same time, then you can get them to stack up and you can cleave really nicely, as we get to do here. The tank was anticipating to get in somewhat of a trouble, I think, so he decided to kite the melee mobs in case we wouldn't get the second row of interrupts and the Rending Void Lashes. But we seem to be doing okay. The tank actually lived this time, so yeah, pretty good execution from our part. No deaths. Sadly I don't get to interrupt the exhume crypts here, but I quickly realized there was no graves for her to exhume anyway, so it wasn't that bad. So just stun on her for just the flat CC and the debuff afterwards from my talent that I can't remember the name of, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. Keep going here. We're gonna get up to the spider bat pack. Just cleave it down, standard procedure. This monstrous spider here has an ability called Death Venom. You want to interrupt this. If it goes through, I do believe it's dispellable. It puts a debuff on the tank, which does pretty good damage with the already debuff that he has on him. So yeah, you want to interrupt that. There's also a shadow cast called Necrotic Burst. It's an almost insta, no sorry, not insta, bleh. It's a cast spell, but when it lands on the tank it does heavy shadow damage, so you want to really make sure you interrupt that. Just keep cycling interrupts as you've done for the rest of the from the previous part of the instance. There's another small spider pack here. Quickly finish this one off on the move, don't stop, because there's going to be more mobs up ahead. 2 big monstrous spiders here, so I quickly call out for my party members to interrupt the other one while I take the first one. Sadly I do over aggro accidentally, but it's okay, I'm a hero class, so I got evasion, so I'm not really in trouble for that. I stun the first Death Venom, he sits a full stun, and then I can just kick the last cast that he will do before he dies, the Necrotic Burst. So when these mobs start to go low, we start to bring them closer to the exit towards the third boss. There's another Necrotic Burst. I think it goes through, yeah it does. As you can see, the healer drops pretty low from this. It doesn't only hit the tank, so it's very important that you interrupt those, but it's okay. No harm done, right? So we get this carrion worm up as soon as possible, right before the bat comes into picture. It's a really good lineup here. We get to cleave everything nicely. Really nice flow and momentum here. As you can see here in the chat, the healer calls out low mana. It's actually quite common in this part of the instance that the healer will be low on mana, as he probably hasn't had a break since the first boss if you run it like we've been doing. So basically what we do here after we kill off the bats, we let him drink to like half mana-ish. He shouldn't really need too much more. It depends on how good your healer is on conserving mana, but we let our healer drink to half before we keep pulling the next worm before the third boss. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He gets to drink, the second worm comes up, we start DPSing him. Avoid the body slam at all costs as it knocks you off, and it'll waste you quite a lot of time. If you get knocked off, you have to find these gazers or whatever to get back up. It's just a flat time waste, really. So yeah, just watch out for that. Keep DPSing him down. I don't think he has anything else than the body slam. He's gonna submerge soon. You don't have to kill the entire worm, which is nice. So yeah, we finished that one off. We engaged the third boss as soon as possible. We let our healer drink a little bit more here, actually, just in case. So he has about 70% mana, which is pretty okay in my opinion. We're still pretty good on time. Standard procedure here as well. Pre-pot, use all your CDs, burst him as fast as possible. This boss also has the same abilities as he does on heroic. He has the body slam, which is a dodge attack. Please dodge this, or you will, as I mentioned earlier, lose a lot of time DPSing as you have to find your way back onto the platform. He still spawns the void zones on the ground, which you will use to counter the inhale as it snares you. One thing I will mention: if you're a rogue, be careful here if you have to cloak this if you're low on health, because the zone still does pretty decent damage, as you can see. But if you have to cloak there, you won't get snared by the zone, so you have to be running in the opposite direction if you badly need to cloak, because otherwise you will get inhaled. And I do believe inhale one-shots on challenge mode, so you really want to be careful with that. I do believe our hunter dies here. Yes he does. He was soaking one of the ads, I think, in an unfortunate spot. It took a little bit too much damage, but it's okay. We still have the combat res for him. And we just keep DPSing, normal procedure, dodge this inhale. As you can see here, I have to cloak because I was close to dying. I also used a pot, so it's okay, but as I was cloaked, I still had to run in the opposite direction, or I would get inhaled. Boss gets pretty low here. I don't think we waste any time on the ads. Pretty bad killing spree. I could have probably done that better. Should have anticipated the submerge, but as you can see here, we only DPS the boss because we don't want to waste any time on the ads, because our healer tells us he's okay to just out heal the damage from them. So we save even more time just flat out going for the boss here. Slow finish, energy start for the win. There we go. He's dead. 4 minutes 25 seconds left. Really good on time here. As you can see on our mob counter as well, we're 35 out of 36. There's 4 mobs here. We don't really want to kill them, so since we have a rogue, we're gonna mass stealth, sap the one in the middle so the others don't aggro, run straight to the mob. Since he's sapped, he won't aggro. I decided to swap to subtlety here, which I will explain why. Mainly it's because I don't have killing spree for cooldowns for the boss, and also subtlety has a lot more interrupts, which is badly needed for these 2 mobs, because the void spawns are not stunnable on challenge mode, which makes the interrupting on these a lot harder. However, they are silenceable, so the reason for going sub is so that I can go into Shadow Dance and garrote one and then kick the other one to get as many interrupts off as possible, because if 2 of these void pulses lines up, if the party is not topped, you're pretty much gonna get wrecked and wipe, and it's gonna cost you a lot of time. So I decided to go subtlety before we even pulled this pack. I'm gonna stay subtlety for the boss as well, as it has really good single target DPS as well. So yeah, we quickly finish off this ad and we get onto the boss. Our healer is still pretty good on mana. I think he actually pots. No, he doesn't pot there, but he's, as I said, he's still pretty good on mana. Pre-pot here, standard procedure. This boss also has the same abilities as he does on heroic, so it's not that much different. only with more damage, of course. The Malevolence is really important that you dodge. I do believe it does a shit ton of damage compared to Heroic. The Omen of Death, the laser from the sky, does more. The closer you are to it, the more damage it does. So try to keep the boss away from it as best you can. The Ritual of Bones is still in challenge mode as well. Make sure you coordinate which skeleton you want to kill, so you don't waste time DPSing 2 of them, because you want to get one of them down ASAP so you can go back on the boss and not waste any time. So we get one down rather quickly, get back on the boss, DPS him down, keep dodging Malevolence, keep dodging the Omen of Death, try to place it like somewhat good, as you can see there. Quickly get out of it, position the boss rather far away from it so it doesn't tick for too much. I do believe we're gonna have another Ritual of Bone shortly, yeah, in about 5 or 6 seconds. So we decide for safety measures to actually kill that skeleton as well. I know the boss is pretty low. We might have been able to finish him, saved even an additional seconds, but we didn't want to risk it. So we get on the same skeleton again, kill it really quickly. It only has 450k health, so we didn't want to risk wiping here, because that would suck so much, because we're so good on time. But we figured, hey, what the hell not? Let's just play it safe. 500k left on boss. Just quickly finish him off. Don't forget to pop an additional pot here, like I did, sadly, but don't think it would have mattered too much. We actually got the round best time for this instance on Dragonblight EU, which we're really happy with. You get a really cool title card, the Spirit Walker, and yeah, overall it's a really nice run. All of us were really happy with it. We were having somewhat of an issue with this instance before we got to this run. Like, the best run we had before this was like 1 or 2 minutes after gold timer, so all of a sudden we got this sick run and actually got round best, which is really cool. Anyway, I'll stop blabbering. I really hope you enjoyed this commentary. If you did, please let me know in the comments below, so I know if I should keep doing them or not. And yeah, if you have any additional questions, just also let me know in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer anything additional that I forgot to cover in this commentary. I think that's about it, and yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.